Okay, we're looking at the Chapter 1 practice test. This is Chapter 1 from OpenStax Calculus Volume 1. Okay, so I think that it would be sort of fun if we could try to work this out together as a group. Let's look at these first problems, A and B. These are on the Canvas page, and you can print those out or go along while you do this. What do you think of -5 here? -5, I think, should be this point here. What do you think the limit is then? Well, this is a test question or quiz question. It's not really the very best because for whatever reason, I'm not using the graph paper or something. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, what do you say? What would the limit be?
3.
All right. So you get 3, because that's where that open circle is, and that's where the functions are approaching. But what is the value of the function at -5?
1.
Yeah, it looks like it's 1. Okay. So I've sort of made it a little hard to see but okay. All right, any questions about that? Actually, I sort of think this is, oh yeah, that's a good problem, I guess. Okay, how about the limit here? This is not truly a limit at 0, it's an infinite limit. So what are you going to write down for C? What should we put for
Negative
C?
infinity.
Negative infinity, we can see it's going down. And let's see, how about this next one where notice it's 4 with that little minus there, that means 4 from the left, and then E is 4 from the right. So from the left, what are we going to get of 4? What do we get?
-1.
-1 is correct. And from the right?
2.
2. When I say correct, I'm saying it looks right to me. It's sometimes I'll make mistakes, but hopefully we can all agree. Seems like it. Then what's f of 4?
-3.
Looks like -3, yeah. And then we do something similar at 9, where we see there's a vertical asymptote at 9. Put a dotted line there. That vertical asymptote. Something like that. Okay. What do you get for an infinite limit as x approaches 9 from the left? 9 from the left. What are we going to get?
Is it infinity?
Well,
No,
it's going down though. Yeah, negative infinity. And from the right?
Positive infinity?
Positive infinity. Yeah, I think that's what I think it is. Everybody agree? These other dotted lines that I did were maybe not even that good. They were just supposed to be a guideline so we can see, because I didn't use the graph. I don't know what I was doing, making maybe a smaller graph. Okay. And then also there's a question, is there really enough space here? All right. Here we're going to find the infinite limit. If I put in x equals -2, the number that y approaches, we get in the numerator 1, because -2 plus 3 is 1, and the denominator is 0. And because of that form, it's not an indeterminate form, but it's a form that we get, which tells me my answer should be either infinity or negative infinity. So the question, what goes inside there? And what I do is, my thing is, I'm really big on just taking out the number line and doing that. So this plus here is important. It says -2 with a plus, or that means, I shouldn't even say plus, maybe it means from the right. I come from the right of -2. And so then what I can do is I can pick a number, so like a test number, and I'm going to pick something from the right. It's arbitrary, but maybe -1.99. You know, in my head, I was thinking, why don't I put in -2.01? That's not correct. So it's from the right. That would have been from the left. Even though I drew the picture, I still had this desire to, I don't know why, but it has to be from the left. So it has to be, like, say, for example, -1.99. That's close to -2, and it's to the right. And so then y will equal then, if I have that, -1.99 plus 3 over -1.99 plus 2. Now, keep in mind, all I'm really doing is trying to determine whether I have something that's positive or negative. When I plug in, I'm trying to decide, is it going to be a large positive or large negative? And by the way, another way, which I think is just, totally legitimate here, is if I look at x plus 3 and x is approaching -2, I can see the limit's 1, because -2 plus 3 is 1. The denominator is approaching 0, but the question is it a positive? It's not equaling 0, it's approaching 0. So the question is getting close to 0 and it's positive, or is it getting close to 0, it's negative? Now, by putting -1.99 and I put that in the denominator, I got 0.01. That tells me it's going to become a small positive. I mean, you can just take -1 plus 2 and you get a positive, or -1.99 plus 2 and I get a positive. So just that alone, because I have 1 divided by a small positive. It's not divided by 0. When I'm trying to show this notation, when I say arrow 0 with that plus, it means the denominator is getting very close to 0, but not equal 0, but also it's positive. And that tells me, I sort of got distracted and didn't simplify this. Oops, it tells me it's not negative infinity, it's positive infinity. Now, just putting in something sort of close to -2, -1.99, I got 101. If I wanted to get even closer, I put -1.999999. I could add more nines, get even closer, but we're just going to get a larger positive number, I think. The reason is, I think that is because of two things. One is I put in -1.99 and I got 101, and I just feel that if I just add another 9 there, if I just add another 9, I would get, I believe, but I can check, 101. I mean, you can just keep putting in numbers. Another reason I think that it's going to be infinity is this form of 1 over 0 when I plug in -2. But so for me, the issue was, is it going to be positive infinity or negative infinity? Because that form of 1 over 0 is what makes me think it's an infinite limit. Do you have any questions about that? For number 3, what I really am asking you to do, I think, is memorize this graph. Y equals ln x. Sort of depends on, what your background is, whether your teachers before wanted you to know that one. The logarithm graph is, I can do even better here, but if I had log base 2 of x, it will look very similar. It have a very similar shape, and it will pass through the x-axis at 1, 0. It'll have that same vertical asymptote. And in fact, that's what we're looking at, really, is this vertical asymptote. But if you recall, log ln x, y equals ln x means y equals log base e of x. Okay, and then the limit as x approaches 0 from the right is an infinite limit. It's not a true limit, as it says it's an infinite limit. What does the graph tell us? What will our answer be there? Anybody want to speak up?
Negative infinity.
That is correct. All right. Well, at least it sounds like you guys know how to do this. Do you know the graph? I hope. So